So hello everyone and welcome to our free class. In it, I am going to show you how you can save time and stress and use ChatGPT to write SEO content. But first, I'll quickly introduce myself in case you don't know me. So I'm Hannah Martin. I'm the founder of Talented Ladies Club. I'm a psychotherapist, qualified psychotherapist, hypnotherapist. I'm also an award-winning copywriter. So since launching Talented Ladies Club, we've had over 5.5 million readers. I've created dozens of successful courses, including social media training for Google. I'm a business mentor for NatWest and a member of two all-party parliamentary groups. And when it comes to writing content, I am genuinely an expert. So as I mentioned, I'm an award-winning copywriter. Here are just some of the brands I have written copy for, including web content. I have published content on Talented Ladies Club for over 11 years, and much of which ranks highly on Google. And of course, I teach SEO. So I feel very qualified to share what I'm going to share in this class with you. So in this webinar, we're going to learn how to use AI like ChatGPT to write SEO content. But first, how important is it to ensure that the content on your website is written with SEO in mind? So the fact is that SEO content improves your content's visibility and search engine rankings, driving organic traffic to your website. Or, to put more simply, SEO helps Google find and rank your website, and then helps potential customers find it too. This means that if you're not regularly writing SEO content for your website, you will struggle to rank on Google, and potential customers will not be able to find your website. But how many freelancers and small business owners are writers or even SEO experts? And how many can afford to outsource content creation? So if you feel like this when it comes to the dreaded task of creating SEO content for your website, I've got some good news to share with you. Now, there are brilliant and free online tools today that you can use to easily write high quality, unique SEO content for your website. Tools that mean you never need to sit despairing at a blank screen, not knowing what to write again. So let's look at how you can use ChatGPT in particular to write SEO content. So we're going to go through the process now of using ChatGPT to write unique SEO content for your website. And step one, the first thing you need to do, or the first thing you could get ChatGPT to help you with, is to come up with content ideas. So here's an example of a prompt that you can use to ask ChatGPT to come up with 10 blog ideas for a marketing consultant. Now, obviously, this is quite generic. In reality, that you'd probably be more precise. Or you can start out with a generic search and start niching down on different areas of what you do. So, for example, a marketing consultant might want to write blogs sharing advice on things like email marketing, creating personas, writing calls to action. So each of these you'll put in a different search for that is more niched down. The next step when creating SEO content in particular is to ask ChatGPT to come up with ideas for keywords. So again, in this example, I've kept it quite broad by asking for ideas for the top 10 keywords in the UK for marketing. And remember to specify your country when asking for keywords, as these will differ per region. And as you can see here, ChatGPT comes up with 10 keyword ideas based on your request. Now, you'll notice that the keywords I gave ChatGPT, or rather ChatGPT gave me in the last step, were shorter. They were more broad, what we call head keywords. It's also important to consider long tail keywords, as these can be easier to rank for and bring you more targeted traffic. So here, as you can see, I've asked ChatGPT to come up with ideas for tail keywords. Now, as before, my request is quite broad. My recommendation when creating copy is that you think about specific problems or questions that you want your content to address, and you write for those. This means you'll also want to ask for long tail keyword ideas in relation to each and every blog. So as an example, if I wanted to write a blog about how to create brilliant newsletters for toy shops, I would ask for specific keywords related to that, like this. So as you can see here, I've asked for the best long tail keywords for a blog about writing brilliant newsletters for toy shops, and it's given specific answers there. Now, when choosing long tail keywords, think about who you want to visit your website and specifically what they are searching for. Think about the questions that someone might put into Google, and then you make that your title. Now, remember, the quality of the question you ask will determine the quality of the answer that you get. Don't worry about being too specific. You're better off having 100 of your ideal customers visit your website than 1 million people who will never buy from you. So the next step is to look at the blog ideas, keywords, and long tail keywords and come up with a content title. You then ask ChatGPT to write a blog. So as you can see here, I've also specified how many words I want ChatGPT to write for me and given it the title. And it's then come up with the copy. And if you were to scroll down on the result, it's got 800 words of a blog, all written, all structured to the title that I asked for. Now you can also ask ChatGPT to write a blog using your specific long tail keyword. So like this example here, ChatGPT will then dutifully provide you with a blog that meets your request in seconds. But it's not quite that easy. Your work isn't done yet. As easy and quick as it is to generate SEO content using ChatGPT, you do need to do some work. And here's why. So here's why I don't recommend using ChatGPT's content. So it's not going to be unique. It's probably not going to be accurate. It definitely won't sound like you. It won't contain any of your experience or expertise. Google can recognize ChatGPT content and may penalize you for it. And ChatGPT actually doesn't write that well for SEO. And even ChatGPT does not recommend that you use their draft. So here's what to do instead. So you're going to take ChatGPT's content and use it as a template to overwrite. So copy and paste it into a Google or Word doc or Pages, whatever you use, and start editing it like I've got here. So basically you use it as, rather than sitting and looking at a blank screen and not knowing where to start from, this gives you the skeleton that you can then overwrite. And here's what you're going to change in it. So you're going to look for common phrases like in today's busy world, or the example it had there, in the fast-paced world digital marketing. If, like me, you see enough ChatGPT content, you recognize really common phrases and words that ChatGPT likes, it's a dead giveaway. Language doesn't sound like you as well. You know, if it uses like a word that ChatGPT loves is like utilize and moreover. If these aren't words that you would naturally use, then don't use them in your content. Just change them for something that sounds more like you. And it's also really important to change anything you think is wrong. ChatGPT famously, I think it's called hallucinations, where it gives you information that's wrong. So you cannot rely on any facts it might state or any stats it gives you. Just check that the article is correct. And also, you need to add some things in. So here's what I recommend adding things in. So add SEO keywords in the right places. ChatGPT does not do this from experience. Add in your own thoughts and experiences. This is supposed to be your content. The thing that's going to make it unique is you. And the thing that's going to add value is your own knowledge and experience. So add those into it. Add examples and case studies in to make it richer, and also add facts, references, and sources. SEO, it's really important to do these things. Google loves to see if you put a statistic in, you reference it and you link to the source, and it loves to see authority sources linked to in your content, and that will help it rank higher. So I just mentioned about using keywords in the right place and how ChatGPT doesn't always get it right. Here's where you need to put them. So it needs to be in your main headline, which is called your H1. It needs to be at least once in your subheads, which are your H2s. Use it early on, so in the first 100 words of the content, and use it, I would say, at least twice more. This will depend how long it is. If you've got a 3,000 word article, you'll use it more than that. But if you're writing about 800 words, I would use it about twice more. Also use it in metadata. And if you have any images in your content, make sure that your SEO keywords go in the image as well. So all you need to do is overwrite what you've been given by ChatGPT using these tips. By the time you have finished, your content will read very differently. You'll have well-written, unique SEO content for your website, and it would have been, a much quicker and less painful process to create. Now, it's important to write for SEO regularly and update your website. And blogs are a really good way to do this. So one of the big things for SEO is that Google wants to see, I call it recency. So they want to see that your blog has been updated recently and lets it know that your blog is fresh. So your website is fresh. And blogs are a really good way to do this. They're also a great way to showcase your expertise and a fantastic opportunity to rank for organic search terms if you get your keywords right. And this is where your long tail keywords really come into play. Get the right long tail keywords in, and you will help your content to rank. Now, at the end of this class, I'm going to share how you can get access to a worksheet I've created with 40 prompts to ask ChatGPT to improve your SEO and write content for you, and 20 of the most common phrases in ChatGPT that you need to edit. But first, let's put together everything that I have just shared with you so you can see what it looks like and kind of get it really clear in your head. So here is how to use ChatGPT to write SEO content. So you need to ask it for content ideas and ask it for keyword ideas and then long tail keyword ideas. Use all of this information to come up with what you think is the best blog title. You then ask ChatGPT to write your blog. You take what ChatGPT has written and you edit it to make it your own and improve SEO using the tips I have just shared. Really simple, really quick. Obviously, there is some work involved in there, but it's much easier once you've got that starting point from ChatGPT, you'll find that you can really quickly and easily make it your own, make it accurate, make it sound like you, and you've got content. Now, of course, this is not everything you need to know and do for SEO. You also need to ensure that your website is set up to rank, that you're building topic clusters, you're building backlinks, and much more. And if you feel like you would need more help with SEO, I invite you to join our popular online course, Easy SEO. And I'm going to quickly just share a little bit of information about how that can help you. So Easy SEO is your complete guide to learning SEO and using it with confidence on your own website so that you can get found by Google for the right search terms. Now, it's a course that's designed for complete beginners to SEO and for people who know a little but haven't been able to build a joined up strategy who aren't getting results they wanted and don't know why. So it's perfect for freelancers and small business owners who want to feel capable and confident when using SEO on their own websites. And it's also useful for people who want to add SEO services to their offering to increase their income. So Easy SEO helps you build your knowledge, confidence, and skills over 4 modules and then some bonuses. So the first module, I show you how to fix your SEO basics and essentials so that your content will rank, that your website is set up, and there's a few kind of common mistakes that people make, and I show you how to fix those. The next module, we look at your keywords. I help you find the right keywords for your business, long tail and short tail and head keywords. Then we plan your content strategy. So how is your content fitting together? How are you building a content strategy that Google is going to like and to want to rank? And then importantly, we look at your backlink strategy. Backlinks are so important for SEO. They're one of the biggest signals for Google that they should rank you. So how do you find backlinks? How do you build it? And then the right backlinks as well. And we look at internal and external backlinks in that module. And then we've got, so that's the course. There's everything you need in those 4 modules to build a SEO strategy. And I give you all the resources and tools to help you do that. We've got a bonus toolkit with extra things that I kind of add in that I think are really helpful to you as well. And then we've got class recordings. As I'm going to cover in a quick second, I do regular live classes, and all the recordings of previous classes get put into there so you can go and watch them and benefit from those. And they're really, as you'll find with it, I'm going to share in a second how helpful those classes are. So you learn via a mix of presentations, videos, written lessons, workbooks, and resources. It's a really content-rich course, and it's all hosted and accessed on our online platform, which makes it really easy to learn when and where you like and keep track of your progress. So what results can you expect from Easy SEO? So Mandy, as you can see here, reached the top spot in Google for the term wedding writer after following my advice in one of the classes I mentioned just now that we host at Easy SEO. You can watch a recording of that class and what I specifically told her to do, and other classes on our learning platform. So if you join, when you join, that class is there, you can watch. And here's what Mandy has said about Easy SEO and how it helped her. So specifically, it's taken a lot of work over the past few months. More recently, Hannah Martin has been amazing. I suggest anyone with a website that they manage themselves, aside of programming, and as far as posting organizing is concerned, consider this Easy SEO course. It's fantastic. So after following my recommendations, declutterer Hester Van Leyen also reached second place on Google for declutterer Greenwich, and she was nowhere on that search term before she made some specific changes. And again, that's in one of the classes that I held via Easy SEO. And I also helped stylist Sally Smythe reach page 1 of Google for the term personal stylist London. Now, she beat 34 million other websites to get there. So prior to following my advice, Sally did not rank at all for this search term. She started seeing results almost straight away. So within 2 weeks of making the change I recommended, she was at the top of page 2, and she's since risen to the middle of page 1 for that search term. Now, what you also find is that when you rank for one keyword, you can also pick up traffic for other keywords. And this is exactly what happened to Sally. So the change we made for the search term I've just showed you, personal stylist London, also enabled her to rank on page 1 for personal shopper London. And as you can see here, she's sandwiched between Harrods and Selfridges, and she's above John Lewis as well. So that's no mean feat. So can you imagine beating Selfridges and John Lewis for personal shopper London? That just goes to show how anyone can climb up Google with the right knowledge, with very specific things that I helped Sally to do that enabled her to do that, and all of which you will learn in Easy SEO. And you can see here, so travel agent Nikki, she joined SEO in July last year, and started using it straight away. And you can see here from this graph how quickly she too started seeing results. And SEO, I mentioned earlier, it's also used by people who maybe want to add SEO as a service to their offering. So social media trainer Emma Perry said, thanks to your SEO course, I was able to upsell my skills, which is one of the deciding factors in my new contract. So it can also help you win work and add more paid services to your offering. You'll find lots more testimonials of people who've taken the course. It is by far and away our most popular course, and there are lots of testimonials on that link there if you want to go and have a look at them. So what else do you get when you join? So one of the things about SEO is that it is constantly evolving. It's always changing, and you need to be on top of it. So I update this course. Now, I update it because I have to be on top of it for my own website. I use SEO every single day, and SEO is a really important part of my own business. So I have a vested interest in making sure that I know what works and what doesn't. And I've got over 7,000 articles on TLC, so I see really quickly when stuff changes. And I make sure that the course is constantly updated. So I'm always reading about SEO, and I attend conferences like Brighton SEO to make sure that I have the latest knowledge, and then that you have it as well. And that's one of the things also that I add on in the live classes and the bonuses as well. I put that knowledge in there. So every year I also create an SEO report. It's really easy to read. It's user friendly, and it also has really simple actions that you can take, so that you can go and do these things as well. So when things like topic clusters come along and things like that, I do a report on it for you, and I tell you what you need to be doing, and I also update the course. So you get that easy to read annual report every year with my predictions about what you need to be changing in the year ahead. And as mentioned, I hold regular live classes, teaching new skills, answering questions, and reviewing your website. So the results I shared earlier from people came from very specific advice that I gave them in these classes. And you can watch these classes on the learning platform when you join to see what I recommended they do. You can also join future classes and get my advice on your own website and SEO. For me, I think this is one of the things that makes our SEO course so valuable and quite unique, in that you can get personal advice. So you can do other SEO courses, but you're not necessarily going to get someone who will give you advice on your website and what specific changes you need to make. So why do you need an SEO course? After all, you can just search for SEO advice online for free. But the problem with that, as you can see, is that there is a lot of noise on the internet. There are lots of strategies, some out of date, some using black hat strategies, that you will see you potentially penalized. And all of them will take valuable time and effort for you to seek out. You could spend weeks working out what to do, only for it not to work. And I know many people who have done that. And often people who join Easy SEO have struggled on their own first. They've put the effort into it, it's not worked. And that's when they come on to Easy SEO, and just to kind of find a really easy way to get results. So I created Easy SEO to help people stop making SEO hard and expensive for people, and so that you don't need to waste time trying to find free advice and resources. You don't need to lose business to competitors who are ranking higher than you. You don't need to use black hat tactics and risk being penalized by Google. And you don't need to pay SEO experts every month, no guarantee they'll deliver. And if you have got the budget, I mean, I definitely recommend an SEO expert. Is always a wise investment. I'm not saying that they don't do a good job, they do. But many businesses and freelancers can't afford an SEO expert. And this is where courses like this fill that gap by giving you exactly what you need to do it yourself. So instead, you can make SEO easy and achieve results yourself by using a tried and tested white hat SEO strategy. You'll get all the tools you need to implement it, understand exactly how SEO works, know what to do to rank for the right keywords. You'll get a plan ready to roll out and an easy monthly checklist. You'll feel confident you can use SEO yourself, and you'll save money and time. Talking about money, how much does SEO cost? So if you were to hire a freelance SEO consultant, you could pay as much as £75 to £150 an hour. Now, for them to create a strategy for you would cost a few £100s, and you'd still need ongoing support, because SEO isn't something you just do once and forget. If you've got the budget to hire an SEO expert and pay them to do it for you, as I mentioned, it is a wise investment, but not every small business or freelancer can afford this. And that's why I created this DIY SEO course, to make it easy and doable for you. Okay, so to join, you can get lifetime access right now for a one-off payment of £299, and that includes VAT. This is all you will ever need to pay to master SEO, and potentially cost the same as 2 to 4 hours of paying for an SEO freelancer. You can find more details on the course, what you get and how you can join, the link that I've shared there, and I will put it in chat at the end. To make it easy for you. I appreciate that that's potentially a lot of money for some people, and it will be easy to pay it monthly. So we do, you can spread it over 6 months, and pay £59 a month. Again, that includes VAT. So we do a payment plan, as well as a one-off payment. With both of them, you get lifetime access to it, and you get access straight away. So you could pay £59 right now and start using SEO right now. So, as I mentioned, this is not a course that you buy once and you just use once and then you forget it. You're investing in a resource that you will get for life and that grows with you as SEO grows. So this is something that I would expect you to come back to continually. It's an ongoing resource that's there for your business. My aim for Easy SEO is for you to rank for the right search terms. And these are search terms that will help your business and make you money. This is the whole point of the course. And it's why I continually add to the course and run live classes as well. I genuinely want this course to make you back more than you've invested in it. And I'd really love to help you too if you aren't currently using SEO or you feel like what you're currently doing is working. I want you to think of Easy SEO as one of the best investments you have ever made in your business. So why should you join right now? As a thank you for spending time with me on this webinar, and I always like to reward early action takers. So I've created 3 bonuses for you if you join in the next 48 hours. So the first one is something I mentioned earlier in the class. To help you get even more out of ChatGPT, I've created a really helpful worksheet, and in it, you'll find 40 prompts to ask ChatGPT to improve your SEO and to write content for you. I've also highlighted 20 of the most common ChatGPT phrases that you need to edit. And I've given you an SEO checklist. Now, this checklist is a really simple list that you can refer to every time you create SEO content to make sure that it's got the best chance of ranking. So what I recommend doing is after you finish creating your content, look at this checklist and kind of go, does it do this? Yes. Have I done that? Yes, I've done that. If you haven't done something, you can quickly edit it, and then it gives it the best chance of ranking. So this makes it really easy to use ChatGPT and create professional SEO copy, and has a value of £49. And you get that for free when you join in the next 48 hours. Now, my second bonus is my guest blogging masterclass. Getting backlinks, as I mentioned earlier, is such an important part of SEO. And I've created my own secret guest blogging strategy. So how I find websites to guest blog on, how I approach them, how I make sure that they have great value and they're worth doing, because there's a specific thing you need to look for when assessing if it's worth guest blogging on someone's website and getting your link there. This masterclass helps you with all of that, and it even gives you a helpful spreadsheet that I created to help you keep track of your guest blogging. The value of this is £49. Again, you get it for free when you join now. And the third and final bonus. Now, I mentioned about making money, and I've had a couple of requests from people thinking about joining and asking, will it help them to add services? So what I'm going to do in June, I'm going to run a class because I wanted to create something that will help you make money if you're a freelancer or a small business looking to add SEO to your skill set and make more money. So the class will be held live, and I'm going to show you which SEO services you can offer, how to use SEO to offer those skills, how to kind of present them. So basically, if you are watching this and thinking, I would actually really like to be doing SEO, like maybe you're a social media manager or a VA or a copywriter, or you do marketing, and you know that SEO is something your clients need, and you would love to feel confident in offering it, this class will help you do that. And it will turn your investment in the course into an income. And the value of this is £99. So if you join in the next 40 hours, you'll get an invite to that class, and I will show you how you can make money from SEO. So the value of all 3 bonuses is £197, and you can access them all if you join. It says 24 hours. That is a typo. It is 48 hours. Don't worry. In the next 48 hours. I proofed and proofed and proofed this class. Missed that typo. Anyway. So you get all these bonuses plus instant access to the entire course at your choice of plan. You can join the next 48 hours, not 24, and get those 3 bonuses. So thank you very much for your time. I always appreciate it when people, I know time is precious, will watch my classes. I hope it's really, really valuable for you. I'm going to stop sharing now. Turn my camera back on. I'm really happy to answer any questions you've got about ChatGPT, about SEO, anything I covered in this class or the course. So I will have a look. I'm quickly going to put a link to that page in there if you need it, you want to learn more about Easy SEO or join. I will put that into chat. So I could see a few messages on there. So I've got some questions here. Does the course run live? If so, what are the dates? No, the course does not run live. The course is all there. It's all pre-done. So you can join right now and you work through at your own pace. So the idea behind this course is it's a resource that is always there for you. Like it's like an always on thing I like to think about. So you can work through it. Some people work through it in a day. Some people will work through it over 6 months. You can pick and choose what you do. So the course is there already for you and will be there permanently for you. What is live are the classes, because I find that that's like this class here. It's really good to answer your questions. So they are live, but they are also recordings that put up there. So I hope that answers your question, Joanna. Do you recommend paying for ChatGPT? To be honest, Catherine, I don't pay for ChatGPT. I haven't seen what the paid version is like. It depends what you want to use it for. So I would imagine I get a lot of content provided for TLC. So I work with SEO agencies and they give me content to put on TLC. And I can see that it's written by ChatGPT. I would imagine that these are paying for using a paid version, and I can still see it's written by ChatGPT. If you're thinking about using it to write content, it will probably be better on the paid version. But I would say that the same problems will still exist that I mentioned in this class, and I would still recommend overwriting it. So if you are thinking about investing in it for writing copy, I personally would say no. I would say use the free version in the way that I recommended, because even if you get a paid version, based on what I see on my own site, as in agencies placing on my site, it still has some of the issues. I can still spot that it's ChatGPT copy, and it doesn't have that uniqueness, and it has a very generic tone of. It's a bit like like ready meals. You can always taste a ready meal. There's a certain flavor that ready meals have, and it's a bit like ChatGPT. There's a certain kind of tone that it has that I see so much I can usually recognize. So yeah, Claire says, I've read a lot of dissertations written by AI this year. So obvious, and I think that's the thing when you see a lot of stuff. You can tell. And Google is hot on this as well. So Google is always updating its algorithms, and Google doesn't like ChatGPT. It doesn't mind it. What it doesn't like about ChatGPT is when ChatGPT is generic, incorrect, or doesn't offer value or unique value. And so the danger is if you use ChatGPT content without editing it, Google will penalize you potentially. Sal's asking a really interesting question about how Gen AI is going to influence searches. I'll come back to that because I'm going to go up to the top. So Claire asked, does it make a difference if a post has a main heading and the others are formatted H2, H3? Okay, so yeah, so basically what you're asking is, does it matter is H1, H2, H3, H4? For SEO, no. H1 is always your main heading. The headlines you use or subheads in your content will always be H2, H3, or H4. Does not matter for SEO. There is no difference between using, from SEO's point of view, H3, H4, H2. It's just sizing, exactly what you say, use it for size. So I use often H4, but I'll use H2 and H3 in our stuff of formatting just for hierarchy of kind of information. And there is as much value in an H3 or H4 subhead as it is in an H2. So it doesn't matter. Hi, Ruth. Nice to see you here. What happens if you don't have a website? If you don't have a website, Ruth, then you can use, so everything I've shared in here is equally valid for writing blogs on other platforms, for writing, you can use it to write posts on LinkedIn posts as well. And I would still think about SEO because, that SEO posts do rank on search. So everything I said is valid, but you would just use it in other places. So it wouldn't be on your own website. And you can use ChatGPT to write social content as well. But again, all the same caveats, go through it, make it sound like you, make sure it's accurate, put your own experiences and knowledge in it. Claire says, I'm a bit stuck on how to put backlinks. They had to publish a website. Do they have to be published on websites? There's also a count who will link from emails. So kind of everything counts in a way, like everything creates noise. So for example, it's still really helpful if people are linking from emails or social social kind of shares to your stuff. And social, well, it's called social signals. I know you're not mentioning social, but social signals do count for SEO. Backlinks are specific. So really, you need backlinks from another website. And the more relevant that website is to what you do, and the more higher domain authority it's got, the more that backlink counts. So it's more of a quality recommendation. Basically, backlinks are a recommendation. So if someone links to you, they're basically recommending you. And the more authority that person or site recommending you has, the more value that link has in the guise of Google. A bit like if I asked a teenager, where's the best Michelin-starred restaurant near here? They probably wouldn't give me a great answer. But if I met a food critic, if I met Jay Rayner on the street and said, where's the best Michelin restaurant near here? Then his recommendation will be far more valuable than the teenagers. And backlinks are pretty much like that. Google just basically says how relevant and valuable is this backlink coming in. So they do need to publish on websites, and there are things that you can do to. This is a whole other class in itself, so I won't go into it now. There are lots of things you can do to build backlinks. Guest blogging is one of them, and just creating great quality content yourself. People choose to link to. Sharing what you do on social is really important, and making it easy to share. Putting social sharing buttons on your site, because again, if people can find it on social, they're more likely to click through it, but they're more likely to link to it on their own content as well if it's valuable. I hope that helps, Claire. So yeah, Sally as well, how to find backlinks. Also, links, internal links on your own site are really important. Do link between content on your own site, because that also counts for SEO. And think about the anchor text that you use to link as well. That's really important for SEO. So yeah, I mean, an internal link will never trump a backlink, but it does help for SEO as well. So do internal links. An internal link is basically, by the way, linking from one of your pages to another page. That's an internal link. But yeah, like backlinks are work. There's no getting around. There are shortcuts. You can pay agencies to place backlinks for you, but that costs a lot of money, and you need a lot of backlinks. So that is a heavy investment. So there are ways around it, but that is about creating quality content, making sure it's shared on social, and then writing guest blogs, and also PR as well. If you can get a link to your site from often like news outlets have good domain authority. If you can get a link to yours from there, so if you're doing PR, that can really help your SEO as well. Oh, thank you, Hester. Nice to see you here. So Hester, I mentioned earlier as an example. She said, thanks, your advice has really helped my website. Thanks, Laura. They were really good. I'm sharing, obviously, if they're really good results. But the really important thing, and I'm sure Hester will agree, is that the people I share the examples for are not exceptional. I don't mean this in a bad way, but I mean in the sense that they were doing stuff that a lot of people do. Their sites, they hadn't written reams, thousands of blogs. They hadn't invested lots of SEO. They were normal freelancers, normal business owners who've done a normal amount. And if they could get to the top of their search results, then anyone can. And it is about finding the right keyword. It is about creating the right content. It's about making the right changes. But I use as examples because they are great examples, but they're not exceptional in the sense that I know sometimes people share examples and there is something about that example that means no one else could get it. This isn't the case. All the examples I've shared with you are utterly replicable by anyone watching this class who has a website, with the right changes. How does this kind of be used for YouTube as well? Yeah, I mean, yes, it can. Everything I've said, I don't know whether you mean like the YouTube description or creating a script for YouTube, but this is all of this counts for anything. And actually, it's also about just creating good quality content. Forget SEO, it's creating good quality content. You can use ChatGPT to create content that is interesting and helpful to your audience, with the caveat that you edit it. So yes, it can be used for YouTube as well. Oh, wow. So Claire says she followed some of the previous SEO classes and I got on the first page of Google for predicted papers, chemistry, A-level. Well done, Claire. So there you go. It is possible. So that's an example that I hadn't given you. So Sal asks a really good question. Oh, so is the Easy SEO course good for YouTube as well? Kata, can you just I have to answer that. Can you just clarify what you mean by that. Do you mean like you want your videos to get to the top of YouTube? Is that what you mean? And I'll answer that for you. So Sal says, how is Gen AI going to influence searches when Google upgrades its search? Will the same rules apply? So one of the things that I teach on the course, the very first thing I teach on the course is if you want to succeed at SEO, you have to understand the psychology of Google. When you understand the psychology of Google, everything makes sense for you. And the psychology of Google is that Google always wants to be the number one search engine. It's worth billions and trillions because that's the go-to search engine. Now, the day that you put a search into Google and don't get what you're looking for fast, quickly and appropriately, is the day that another search engine comes up and beats Google and you don't use Google anymore. So Google wants to always give whoever is searching exactly what they're looking for as quickly as possible. That's Google's entire raison d'etre. It's an entire motivation, mission. So it is constantly changing. So it's got things what they call one-click searches now. So quite often you'll find that, and I did this in my report, my 2024 SEO report was about one-click searches. And a lot of the stuff you're talking about mentioning here, Google wants to make sure that actually, if you're searching for something, it doesn't even want you to click on someone's website now. It wants to try and serve you all the answers you want actually within Google. And it is using kind of AI to kind of understand what you're looking for and to deliver it, but it's still taking content for that from websites. So it is still other people's content. So basically what I'm trying to say is SEO in principle will never change. SEO is still always going to be about Google wanting to deliver the best possible results for you as quickly as possible. So this is why I continually have to update the course, because how Google achieves that, and in the old days it would do it was almost an annual algorithm change. It was SEO changed slowly. Nowadays it doesn't have big algorithm changes because it's constantly tweaking it. And an AI obviously is going to rapidly change this. So will exactly the same rules apply? I don't know. As SEO changes, I'm reading up on it and changing the site and learning myself and running classes on it because I need to know for my own website as well. But like I say, on a basic level, SEO will never change because it will always be about, and this is why I say that SEO is more about psychology than techniques. People always say, I'm not technical. I'm not technical. But I understand patterns and I understand motivations and I understand problem solving. And that's really what you need for SEO. So you need to understand what Google's motivation is and then how it's meeting it. So Google will be making changes regarding AI. You just have to read up and stay on top of that and then just make sure that you do the right tweaks. So Sal, I hope that answers your question. If not, please do let me know. But the basics of SEO will never change. How you deliver it will change and the tweaks you need to make will always change. But the basics of SEO won't change. Lulu, I will okay, thanks. Happy to, yeah. Anyone can send me an email. If they have, I'm going to put my email address in here, by the way. If you have any questions about the course or about anything I can help you with, Tom, you're welcome to email me. By the way, I never mind answering questions because this SEO course I have built for you, for business owners and freelancers who need it. And I always want it to be the best possible course. And I only know the things you struggle with. I only know the things that aren't in it that you need in it if you tell me. So I never mind people kind of ask me a question about SEO because it helps me understand what you struggle with so I can make sure my course solves those struggles for you. But equally, if you're doing SEO, easy SEO, and you're like, oh, I really hope this would be in it and it wasn't in it, always happy to hear that because I want that course to be the best possible course in SEO and I can add that in for you. So if you've got a question about SEO, please do ask me, or a question about the course. So yeah, Kata says, is it good for YouTube? Now, really good question. I don't know, and this is an example of it. I am now going to look up this because I don't know so what I do know, so let me preface this by Google loves videos. So is it good for getting your YouTube video in Google in organic search in terms of SEO? Yes, because all the SEO principles that a website used to use to rank on Google applies as well to videos. Within search, so things like platforms like LinkedIn and platforms like YouTube also have search within them as well. They were also kind of on algorithms too. So on principle, yes, everything that you're going to learn about SEO for Google will work for YouTube and will work for LinkedIn as well, because they're all basically about search and they all rely on keywords. Kata, you've got my email address there. You're really welcome to email me on that. And I'm going to go and look up specific differences, if there are any, for YouTube, so I can answer you more specifically. And look at that for you to answer you more, because I like to kind of give a fuller answer. But the principles of SEO are the same. If there are differences, I will look them up. But if you, Kata, if you want to email me on my email address, I'm really happy to answer that for you more fully there. You're welcome. Any more questions? Was that helpful? Was that useful? So what I shared about ChatGPT, was that useful for you? Do you think it's something you'll be using? I'd love to know, because I always want to make sure my classes are pitched the right level of information, that I actually share stuff that's useful for you. Otherwise, I'm wasting your time and my time. Hester says yes, I'll give it a go. Excellent. It is something I never thought about using it that way. I'm glad that's helpful, very useful, brilliant. Brilliant. Now I'm gonna confess something here to you now, how I stumbled across this. So I'm a writer. So all the content I write on TLC, I want to say now that I write for TLC is all written by me. But sometimes SEO agencies will ask me to, not very often, and I don't like doing it because it's not cost effective for me, because they'll ask me to write content for them on TLC, and it will be on really random subjects I know nothing about. This is how I stumbled across this. And when I first did this, I would research it and it would take me a really long time. And I was like, when I see how much they pay me, it's not really worth my time doing. There must be a faster way. So this is how I stumbled upon this. So I thought one day, out of curiosity, how would ChatGPT write an article on this? So I got ChatGPT to write it. And then I thought, well, actually, it's not a bad structure and it's got all the relevant points in there. If I just overwrite this with my knowledge and my tone of voice, so no two words are the same on ChatGPT, and that's how I discovered it. So there's a confession for you that it is actually something I do, even as a professional writer. So if I'm writing for someone else, and especially when they ask me, so some of the content I've written is subjects that I know nothing about until I start writing about it, and ChatGPT gives me that massive step forward in creating it. So there's a confession. I use it, what I've shared with you today, so I know it works. It's tried and tested. And it is. Joanna says that's the thing. And I learned this as a copywriter. The hardest thing that you can ever do is sit down with a blank sheet of paper or a blank screen. What I did as a copywriter was, and this is a tip for writer's block actually for any of you, aside from ChatGPT, is if I need to write something and I can't think, we always think we need to start writing perfection. I start writing with gibberish. Literally, I'll just start writing, obviously about the topic in hand, but I know it's rubbish. Because eventually you start to get in flow and your brain gets bored with writing rubbish and then something starts to come together. So that's another tip for you. Never sit with a blank screen. Just start writing something and then eventually it will come. Catherine said there is nothing wrong, I guess, with using something which helps you save time in the non-paid activities you could focus on. Absolutely. And I'm all, if you've watched some of my other classes, you'll know I'm all for shortcuts, legal shortcuts that are ethical, that don't take away from the quality of what you deliver. I use lots of technical shortcuts like Zapier and kind of workflows within email systems. And I agree entirely, Catherine. If you can find a way of doing something more quickly without sacrificing quality that is legal, caveat that, absolutely, all for that. And it can and just buy you time to spend time with your family or your friends or doing things you love. So absolutely agree with that. If there are no more questions, I will let you go. And so yeah. If you have a question about ChatGPT as well, or the course, feel free to email me. It is a course I am very passionate about, always changing, always updating, running those live classes. I really like, and those two bonuses to remind you for next 48 hours, not 24 hours, 40 hours. If you join the next 40 hours, you'll also get those as well. So thank you once again. Really appreciate your time today and brilliant questions as well. And I hope you have a good afternoon. I hope it gets warmer. I'm sick of like wearing my office body warmer because I'm cold. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you in a class soon.